Good afternoon. My name is Dana Garcia, and I will be talking about how I applied Carnegie's leadership principles to this assignment of how to be a leader. So, for this assignment, I chose to resolve a disagreement with one of my closest friends. We have known each other for years, so when the disagreement happened, it was upsetting for both of us. The conflict may have started because of a misunderstanding. It started because of a misunderstanding over text. Some messages came across differently than they were intended, and both of us ended up hurt and frustrated. At first, neither of us really talked about it. We became a little distant, and our conversations weren't the same as usual. But I realized that if I wanted to preserve our friendship, someone needed to take the initiative and have an honest conversation. So my goal was not to prove I was right, but to clear up the facts and the misunderstanding, so we could improve our communication. So first, I started with being honest and praising. Before bringing up the disagreement, I reminded my friend how much I valued him, how much I valued our friendship, and I told him that he's always been someone I could count on and that our friendship generally meant a lot to me. So I chose this principle because I wanted him to know that my conversation was coming from a place of respect and appreciation, not anger. So starting positively helped me create a more comfortable environment for the both of us. Afterwards, I started talking about my own mistakes before criticizing his. Instead of just immediately pointing out what I thought he had done wrong, I acknowledged that I could have handled the situation better too. I admitted that I may have jumped into conclusions and assumed things without first asking for clarification. So I chose this principle as well because I didn't want the conversation to feel like an attack. Taking responsibility and accountability for my own part in the misunderstanding made it easier for my friend to open up to me as well. After During our conversation, I asked questions like, "Well, how do you feel like when all of this happened, and what do you think caused this misunderstanding?" Rather than just telling my friend what he should have done, I gave him the opportunity to explain his perspective. So this helped us have a genuine conversation instead of just arguing further. And lastly, I made sure to not embarrass my friend or make him feel guilty. I focused on understanding his side of the situation instead of trying to win the argument. Even though we disagreed on certain details, I respected his feelings and listened carefully. I chose this principle because maintaining someone's dignity is important when resolving conflicts. People are much more worth through problems. Are they willing to work through problems when they feel respected? So, as my reflection, the outcome was better than I expected. Once we both had the chance to explain our feelings, we realized that most of the conflict came from miscommunication rather than actually anything intentional. We were able to clear the air and move forward without any resentment. My friend responded positively because we shared the conversation since it was honest and respectful. Instead of becoming defensive, he felt comfortable with sharing his perspective, which helped us understand each other better. So this experience taught me that leadership is not always about being the team leader and being in charge. Sometimes leadership means being willing to start that conversation and listening carefully and work towards a solution that benefits everyone involved. So the principle that had the biggest impact was talking talking about my own feelings before criticizing others. Once I admitted my role in the misunderstanding, the conversation became much more open and productive. In conclusion, this experience showed me that effective leadership often comes from empathy, communication, and respect. So by applying Carnegie's principles, I was able to resolve a disagreement in a positive way and strengthen actually the friendship. And it reminded me that a leader is not about proving that you're right. It's about helping people understand one another and moving forwards together. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you could see how I apply these principles.